there, and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 89 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. Big box comes with this one. And we are continuing the deck we were working on the last one. It seems like ages ago since we did that, but it's not. We didn't work on the deck, that's why. It is ages since we worked on the deck. We worked on the hull in the last one. This is the third section of the bridge deck. The bridge deck is pretty much complete after we've done this. I say that, the base of the bridge deck is. There's still a lot more to go. There's not loads to do in this. As I've said, it's a weird thing with part works. It seems the bigger the part, the less there is to do. The tiny parts, the minutiae, are always the ones that are very involved. But it seems the massive parts are just kind of like very little work. It's a very weird thing. So what are we doing in this one? Well, we're adding some deck. And then we are attaching this part to the bridge deck we were working on, which is this one. So this is going to be significantly bigger by the time we finish this. But it's fairly basic. I mean, we are, as I said, we're installing some decking and we are screwing this together. That's pretty much it for this one. At the end of this, we'll be talking about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving has just passed in America. It's Thanksgiving weekend at the moment. We are going to be talking about why did they serve Thanksgiving dinner on the Titanic. Titanic's at 7 April, but they served kind of a Thanksgiving dinner. Why? It's weird. British ship, April, Thanksgiving dinner. Bit unusual. We'll explain why that happened at the end of this one, our Titanic tale. But without further ado, let's get this one open. Let's take a look at the bits that we get, and let's get this built. Okay, so this is everything we get at 89. Don't need to. That's already unstuck. Okay. So let's see what we're actually getting inside of here. Oh God, my decking's already standing up. So we've got piece of deck in there, piece of deck in there. Great big lump of deck. And some, these AP screws. That's it. That's what you get in this one. Right. So, quite simply, what we're going to do is we are going to install our decking strips. Let's get this around the right way. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to go, this one's going to go on there like so. It fits in there lovely. And then we can take the other one, and that's going to fit in there like so. So that's how those are going to go. But what we're going to do is, as I said, it's up to you what you do. I am gluing down mine, just adding a little touch of wood glue just to hold these, just to create some extra bond. You don't have to, it's not completely necessary, but if it gives a little extra bond, it gives a little extra bond. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get that glued up and I'm going to install these. Okay, so I've got very light, you can barely see mine. I've just got a touch, don't go mad, because it'll have the adverse effect of what you want it to do if you do that. So what we're going to do is take the backing off of our decking. And these are simple to install because you've basically got a guide marker that can't, if it's not going to fit, it's not going to fit. There we are. And smooth these down, get them right to the edges. Because if you're ever going to grief, the edges are where you're going to get your grief. So they're nice and pressed down. That's that one done. Let's flip this round. I install the second one over here, so we're going to take the backing off of this. And do the same again. There we go. Right down. And there we have it. So that's our decking installed. I'll let that dry a little bit. There we go. All done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to bring up the other section of the deck, and we're going to screw this using our AP screws. We're going to attach it. We're going to have a huge deck by the end of this. Let's bring our deck over. This one, the original deck sits on top. We've just got to get this to sit flush, which I'm sure is easier said than done. Yeah, I'm missing something here, I think. Right, this really does not want to play ball. No, you're going to have to have a popular squeeze, see what's going on with it. That's got it. So you just got a bit of a wriggle about because these side pieces here, you've got to make sure that when this goes on, it's got to go on pretty much flush because there's no give either side, sort of wiggle it around. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in 6 AP screws. We're going to put those in. So we'll start in the middle here. This thing is huge. This deck is absolutely bloody huge now. That's one. Let's get one of these edge pieces in. Yeah, this thing is gargantuan. And again, I can't wait to see this all lit up. It's going to look so nice. There is clearly more LEDs to go in as well. So I can see we've still got a slot for an LED just over here. And we've got 2 sections for LEDs over here as well. So it's going to look nice. I mean, I've spoken before about the lighting on the Titanic. You don't want this thing beaming light. Well, you might want this thing beaming light. But I don't know, there's something very strange when there are, you know, screaming for accuracy, and then people are trying to make this thing look like it's, you could see it from space. And it's like, if you're talking accuracy, we'd have very, very, very subtle lighting on the Titanic, because, you know, these are bulbs from 1912, being powered by electrics of 1912. This thing wouldn't be, you know, beaming light. You'd have a gentle glow. That's what I want my Titanic to have. I want it to have a gentle glow. I don't want light pouring out of every single window, because that would just be weird. One more after this one. That's that one there. So yeah, light can kill a model. It can. Too much light can absolutely drown a model out. So just be conscious of that if you're thinking of going for a nuclear option on your lighting. Yeah, just be conscious, because when you start drilling holes in things, it's not the easiest thing to fill them back up. Right, so that's that one done. That's how we are now looking, and wow, that's massive. Let's have a chat. That one done, nice and simple, and wowee, look at, you know, where we are now. This thing's huge. So yeah, nice and easy. I mean, there was nothing overly complicated about it. We're putting in 2 pieces of deck and putting in 6 screws, you know. It's nothing complicated at all, but it looks great. I mean, this has got this massive piece now, and our decks are really coming together lovely, aren't they? I think we've got to be close to the point where we're attaching this together. We just got to. So that'll be good to see. That'll be really good to see. If you just stick around with the instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to both like and subscribe. It helps our channel massively. We just love having you along for the journey, because we are going all the way to the end on this one, and we will be ending less than a year. So October next year, we should be finished with this one. Exciting times, right? As we are creeping towards issue 100. There should be another delivery before Christmas, but with postage the way it is at Christmas, I can't promise that. So if I don't see my regular Titanic viewers before Christmas, have a great Christmas. But I'm hoping I'll see you before then. I'm hoping we'll get the next ones around about 21st or 22nd. Again, if you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps massively. Sticking around for our Titanic talk. We're talking about Thanksgiving dinner. Why was Thanksgiving dinner served on the Titanic? Well, this was served on the Titanic. Why was Thanksgiving dinner served on the Titanic? Well, it wasn't, right? So, I mean, you have to appreciate the fact that Titanic was massive. It had a massively varied international passenger list, along with crew. So it's not. America don't own the monopoly on turkey being a traditional holiday meal. In England, it's traditionally eaten on Christmas Day. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK. It's strictly an American thing. And turkey for the UK is Christmas Day. That said, the passengers probably would have found it a little unusual. So the American passengers probably would have thought, why are we having Thanksgiving dinner in April? And your British passengers probably thinking, why are we having Christmas dinner in April? And for a lot of the British passengers, it would have been really odd, because turkey was something at this point, it's 1912, is something that was common amongst the aristocracy and the upper class, and some of the more affluent middle class, the lower class, wouldn't have been able to afford a turkey. It wouldn't have happened. So why was this done? Well, it genuinely was done with the idea of being almost like a cultural exchange and almost like an introduction. So for Americans that have been travelling around Europe and have been in the UK and were heading back home, it was supposed to be a taste of kind of America. You know, it's like, welcome home. For those that were moving to America, the idea was, this is some typical American fare. And before you say, well, why not hamburgers and cheeseburgers? Because that wasn't that big a deal at this point. Again, it's strange to think of a world where these things weren't really as they were. But that's the case. So burgers weren't really that big a thing. And in 1912, Hamburg wasn't the most popular destination in the world. So there's that as well. But yeah, so it wasn't advertised as Thanksgiving dinner, but it's clearly what Americans, I mean, it's what you associate with Thanksgiving. You associate turkey and cranberry if you're American with Thanksgiving. If you're British, you associate it with Christmas. Occasionally it gets associated with Easter, but typically it would have been almost like a holiday meal served in April, which was unusual for a lot of them, but that's why it was done. So it was done intentionally as as almost like a cultural introduction to some and a welcome home to others, which again shows kind of the opulence of the Titanic, the kind of money that was spent on it, because it would have been expensive. Just would have. I mean, it was kind of out of season, and it would have been expensive. But that was the theory behind it. That was the thought behind it. And I think it's a cute thing. I'd quite like that. I think if I've been away from home for a long time, to get on board a vessel and they're like, here's some British food, I think I'd like it. I think I'd really like it. And that was the thought behind it. So now you know. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving to my American viewers. And for the rest of you around the world that went out to Black Friday yesterday, I sincerely hope when you film the fights, you film them in landscape and not portrait, because that way we can all enjoy them as they were meant to be seen. That is all from me. I will be back practically immediately with issue 90 of Hachette's Build the Titanic, where we'll be adding LEDs and a few bits and pieces to the deck that we're currently building. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel massively. If you'd like to contact us, you can contact us at buildingtheboys@outlook.com. Or you can pop a comment down below and we will get back to you. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And I'll see you very, very soon for more from Hachette's Build the Titanic. I'll see you then. Take care.